Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Audio bandwidth for Net at Night is provided by AOL Music and Spinner.com, where you can get free MP3s, exclusive interviews, and more. Video bandwidth for Net at Night is provided by Cashfly at CACHEFLY.com. This is Net at Night with Amber MacArthur and Leo Laporte, episode 141 for March 3rd, 2010. Hootsuite. Net at Night is brought to you by Audible.com. To download a free audiobook of your choice, go to audible.com/night. And by Go to Assist Express, the easy way to provide instant tech support to your customers remotely. Support smarter with Go to Assist Express. For a free 30-day trial, go to gotoassist.com/night. And by Squarespace.com, the fast and easy way to publish a high-quality website or blog. For a free trial and 10% off your new account, go to squarespace.com/night. It's time for Net at Night from Petaluma, California, US of A. I'm Leo Laporte.
And I'm Amber MacArthur from Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, Canada. I have to honor you now because you won the gold in hockey.
We did, Leo, and it's a good thing because I cannot imagine this country if we lost that medal on Sunday.
Oh, the depression would have been...
I would not want to be here because, as you probably know, it was a big party on Sunday, a lot of happy Canadians. And you know what? I'm not a huge hockey fan. I used to be. But I have to say it was a fantastic game.
Oh, especially that sudden death. And man, and you know what? You guys deserve to win. Had you not won, it would have really felt like we stole it because, frankly, Canada was outplaying the U.S. quite a bit.
Yeah, so, it would have been a very sad day for Canadians.
So in honor of that, I'm just going to play a little bit of "Oh Canada" or something.
Sounds like a good idea.
I really shouldn't I? Just imagine I did. Oh Canada.
We can sing it. You have to do it in French and English, though, Leo.
It's a nice national anthem.
Yeah, it's not bad. I just spoke at an event. I just got back from Washington, D.C., and this morning at the event, there was a bunch of Canadians in the audience. It was a big audience, maybe 600 people.
Wow.
And I had to, at the beginning, apologize for winning the gold medal because that's what Canadians do, you know. We apologize.
We're sorry we won. We're sorry.
I'm very sorry that we won.
We're sorry we won.
But happy nonetheless.
Oh, you know what? This version of "Oh Canada" actually has a kind of a slow start because I played this actually after you guys won. This is from the CBC. This is their sign-off. And it's actually very beautiful because it has images of the whole country and some great music, and then kind of it turns into "Oh Canada."
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. Have you seen this? Well, you probably don't stay up late enough. You have to be up pretty late to see the CBC sign-off.
I stay up pretty late, but I don't think I've seen that. Probably, maybe I'm not watching. If I stay up late, I'm not watching CBC. I'm probably watching the Colbert Report.
CBC probably goes off the air at 9 p.m., actually. Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. This isn't even my country, and it brought me to tears.
No, you're an honorary Canadian.
There's Toronto. There's the Needle. There's the Lighthouse. This is beautiful. There's Mounties playing polo. I don't know what they're doing. That's the exposition. I have to say, and I think a lot of it's because of you, I have a real soft spot in my heart for the Canadian people and the country. And I was really kind of glad you won. I shouldn't admit that.
You know what, Leo? I've had a lot of people in the U.S. say that. They just felt as though, you know, this is Canada's sport, and they were happy that we won. So I think it's a nice, friendly competition between the two countries. And, you know, like I said, I would just be so sad if the U.S. won in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, did you see how sad those poor Americans looked?
I know.
And they got silver. Come on, guys. You got silver. That's not bad. That's something to be proud of.
But it was a really great way to wrap up the Olympics. It was.
Now, did that put Canada in the record book for the most gold medals?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, most gold medals. So pretty good on our home turf. I think there were 14, if I'm correct.
You kind of almost have to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It
Pressure's
was, I
on.
mean, yeah, I would think it was we kind of went into the Olympics and we talked about this on Net at Night before where, there wasn't snow in Whistler, there wasn't
Right.
snow outside Vancouver, what was going to happen. There was kind of this, just a more somber feeling around the Olympics and then just ended on a very high note. So good news for all of us.
And I'll tell you, it was a great commercial for Vancouver.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people who aren't Canadian or don't spend a lot of time in Canada really appreciate how much Toronto dominates Canada. I mean, it really is the city.
Yes, it is the city. And
I'll give you an example. When we were going to move Call for Help to Vancouver, and I said to Amber, come to Vancouver, that's what she did. She laughed. She just laughed. She said, no, yeah. You don't
Actually,
understand.
it's funny. I think we did have a conversation because I think at one point when we were doing Call for Help, I went out to Vancouver to visit friends or something. And I remember getting there. Toronto is very much like New York in a lot of ways. It's kind of like go, go, go.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big city,
Yeah.
Lots of business activity here. And then when I arrive in Vancouver, all of my friends who are wonderful, I mean, they're very into hiking, the outdoors and yoga and all that stuff. I try to reach them on their cell phones or get in touch with them. And they're sort of like, oh, we don't really turn our phones on after we leave the office, and we'll be there around 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And I just have to arrive there and just slow it all down.
It's very Western, but I loved both. I was very glad to have a sense of both the East and the West of Canada, and I have to say, I think Vancouver really came off well in this Olympics. It just looked beautiful, didn't it?
It is a beautiful place, Leo. And
yeah.
I should mention that our guest tonight is from Vancouver. So Hootsuite is actually based in the Vancouver area. And there's a lot of sort of social web companies that started out in Vancouver, including Flickr.
Flickr, really?
Yeah.
Flickr started in Vancouver?
Yep.
So Katerina is a Canadian.
I'm pretty sure she's Canadian. I know that it did start there, and there's a lot of companies like that. So whereas I think Toronto is more kind of hardcore technology in some ways, and there's a lot of software companies, I see Vancouver as really being a bit of a hub for kind of social media design as well. It's just there are definitely some great services that come out of there.
Well, so we are going to talk to the CEO of Hootsuite in just a little bit. I use Hootsuite. I really like Hootsuite. It's kind of a social media hub client who allows you to connect to your social media accounts. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. We also have some links, the video of the night, and a lot more. Before we go too far, though, I want to mention our friends at Squarespace. I know you have a soft spot in your heart for Squarespace.com. Great software, great web hosting. If you're looking to set up your first web page, or maybe you're unhappy with your current host or current software, please take a look at Squarespace. Go to squarespace.com to find out more. Squarespace, as I said, it's both hosting and software. So you get, for as little as $8 a month, just the most robust web host, great uptime, a virtual system that allows you to handle a lot of traffic. You can get dug, slashed, even twitted, and your site will never, ever go down. But that's just the beginning. Squarespace has incredible software that lets you design a site that looks like no other. Sometimes when you go to a WordPress site, you just know, oh, yeah, that's WordPress. Or you go to Drupal, that's Drupal. Now, I defy you to identify a Squarespace site. Each is unique. Each is beautiful. You start with these great templates, but it's so easy to modify. And if you really are a serious developer and you know JavaScript and CSS, the sky's the limit. Gorgeous sites. You can easily import your data from movable type, Blogger, WordPress.com. It just comes right in. Here's Tom and Veronica's Sword and Laser site. Look at this. I mean, it's just gorgeous. And you wouldn't look at it and go, oh, that's Squarespace, unless you saw that powered by Squarespace logo there. Also, great iPhone application that makes it's about as easy to post as anything. Stats. I mean, I can go on and on. Here's the best thing to do. You go there and try it. Just go to squarespace.com/night, N-I-G-H-T. Set it up. You got 2 weeks free. You don't even need a credit card. So you'll really get a sense of it. And then if you decide to get involved, you can save 10% by using the coupon code NIGHT. Squarespace is, simply put, the best hosting, the best software, the best looking. If you're looking for a new site, please do us a favor and do yourself a favor. Go to squarespace.com/night. N-I-G-H-T. I forgot what show I was on for a moment.
You're like, where am I?
What?
I think a lot of people, they think that if they're going to go to a hosted solution like Squarespace, they do think that it's going to look just like any other website. I think that's a really good point that you made. But and they don't realize how robust it is. You do have to go there and play it with it and try it out for a couple of weeks because it's awesome. And I wish it was around 5 years ago.
I know. I think of all the. I finally, we're going to move the radio show. Finally, move the radio show site over to Squarespace, and it's like, why didn't I do this ages ago?
I know. I agree.
So let's start off with a link that both warms the cockles of my heart and surprises me.
I know. So this is about Android, the operating system. And Leo, I have to say that in Canada, just a couple of weeks ago, we got the new Droid phone. So we're a little bit late, but I've been testing it out, and I love the Android operating system. Yep. I love it. Yep. I never got an iPhone, really. You sent me one. I didn't really use it all that much because I was kind of hooked on my BlackBerry. But now my next phone for sure is going to be an Android phone. And this article just came out on Read Write Web, where an Android developer made $13,000 a month from an application that he developed.
What was the application, just out of curiosity?
This is kind of cool. I did read a little bit about it. It's called Car Locator. Now, I haven't downloaded this one yet. And the idea is it allows people to save the location when they park their cars, and the app navigates them back to their cars.
Oh, that's so cool.
I don't know how many times in a parking lot or somewhere I park and maybe it's at the airport and then I forget where my car is. So it's kind of cool. Now, it originally sold for $1.99 and went up to $3.99. And I guess it's been a big hit as far as being in the Android marketplace.
It's funny. I've never heard of it, which makes me think that some of the other really well-known applications must be doing even better.
I know. This is the thing, because I've downloaded just a few. I mean, one that I downloaded right away was based on your recommendation for Twitter. It's called Twitroid.
Twitroid. But, there are other choices now. I'm using Seismic, which is free. And the folks at Handmark have a really good Twitter client called Tweetcast. I can't remember. Yeah, I think that's it. And there's new clients coming out all the time. In fact, our guests, I think, have a new client, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So, and this was one of the knocks on Android was, well, if it were really a good platform, why aren't there any good Twitter clients? Because there's dozens on the Mac side. But, all you need is one, right, that works well. And I think Twitteroid is the granddaddy. It's been around a long time. I'm currently kind of a fan of Seismic, which is free.
Oh, I'm going to try that out. Yeah. So, I mean, I thought this was exciting news because, like you said, we haven't heard a lot about different Android apps and about people making money. So $13,000 a month, it's
that's a good living. That's his net, by the way. That's a good living.
It's the net, and he talks a little bit in the article about how he originally only made like $8 a day, and there was nothing substantial. But then he got featured in the marketplace, and then his numbers really soared. Yeah, and that helps a lot. So I got to explore more of the apps. It's almost like I need one destination where I can go and I can read just about the latest and greatest Android applications. I'm sure there's a blog or something somewhere. I just haven't found it.
Yeah, there are a number of them. It's funny because unlike the Apple Store, which is really very uniform, and Apple, controls it all, and really if Apple doesn't promote you, it's hard to find because there's so many choices. Android's a little bit more fragmented. You don't have to go through the marketplace to sell. You don't even have to get approved to sell in the marketplace. And one thing people with Android phones kind of complain about, I don't mind at all, is that many applications update all the time, like every week. So, and you'll get notified there's an update, and unfortunately there's no update all button. I wish there were. That's an easy thing. I'm sure they'll fix it. But I like it because it means that if you're an application developer, you don't have to wait on anybody to push your fix, which is the case with the iPhone. So I think it's a really now I'm using the Google version, the Nexus One. But
I know we don't have that yet, and that's what I want.
Well, but you because you're a BlackBerry user, you like a keyboard, right?
No, you know what though? Like on the Motorola Milestone, just like the Droid, there is a keyboard on it. Is there one on the Droid? Because the Milestone has a full keyboard. It's not
very usable, but do you use it? Do you like it?
Yeah, I do like it, and I found I use it a lot. I mean, it's not as easy as the BlackBerry keyboard, I will say that. But the more that I continue to use additional Google tools, the more that an Android phone just makes sense for me.
Oh, absolutely. That's the biggest thing. You just log onto your Google account, and now everything just works.
Everything just works. It's syncing nicely. I've started to use Buzz, all Google Calendar. Everything I use, my whole life is in Google. So when I started to test out this phone, at first I was a little bit skeptical, and then I played around and I thought, I have to get an Android phone. I mean, it makes sense because all of my communications are done inside Google.
Well, welcome.
I love it.
Welcome
I'm kind of addicted now.
to the new side.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot too. I've been very, very happy with it. I'm glad to see you like it. Yeah, even if you're an iPhone fan, and it's funny because iPhone fans just really get mad at me when I talk about the Android. They feel like I'm a traitor. But even if you love the iPhone, you want to see competition that challenges Apple to get better. It's just a better way for everybody. Even if you're never going to use an Android phone, you want it to succeed.
Yeah, exactly. And like, if you're a hardcore Google user, I mean, it just makes your life easy.
It's just made for it. Yeah.
Makes it a cinch. So, Leo, we have been trying, and Dane has been putting out tweets on Twitter to get the founder of Chatroulette on the show.
He's just like a Russian teenager.
Yeah, I think it's a 17-year-old kid who has created this site. If you don't know what it does, it allows you to go onto the website, turn on your web camera, and then randomly chat with people who appear on camera on the other end.
And when you say random, you mean random. You don't know what. We did it on TWiT on Sunday.
Oh, did you play it?
I got to a pervert in one click.
Oh, I would never do it. I talked about it last week on Web Nation, and I was like, okay, we're not showing this live because you don't know what you're going to get.
Don't do it live. I got my comeuppance, but that's okay. We blurred it out for the replays. But I was kind of shocked because I didn't realize it would be so replete with people exposing themselves, basically.
Or people in costumes. I know Chris was testing it out with a friend of his, Patrick, and there was this guy dressed up as Optimus Prime in this like Optimus Prime costume from the Transformers, and then he had a little mini Optimus Prime. I mean, you find very strange things on Chatroulette. It's not for kids.
It isn't, although I'm sure that most of the people I see on it are kids. I think it's kind of cool. The problem is as you're going to point out, if you're a guy, you don't really get much on it because they just press next and next and next. You get what they call nexted.
I know. This is the funny thing. There is a new video out on
Casey
Vimeo.
Neistat did a great video.
Oh, he did an awesome video, and it talks about Chatroulette. And he did kind of this test in the video where he went and he ended up going through 90 different people and charting out all these different people and figuring out, the percentage of girls and boys and perverts.
It's quite a good video, I have to say. He really did a nice job. And eventually he puts an attractive girl on and gets a completely different result. People next him like every second, but the girl gets the shortest.
My friend Josh introduced me to Chatroulette a few weeks ago.
Here's his video.
And like most everyone else on the planet, I quickly became obsessed. For those unfamiliar, Chatroulette is a website that spontaneously connects you to a random stranger via video chat. The site works like this. Press start, and 3 seconds later, some 12-year-old Swedish girl is judging you.
It's true. And that's kind of the dirty little secret of Chatroulette is not that you see perverts on there. That everybody knows that's what you're going to see. The sad thing is that if you go there as a guy, you just get rejected. There's a huge amount of rejection. Now, I bet if you used it, what happens?
You know what? I have never really gone on it, and
I think you would get lots of conversations. I met some nice Danish girls on TWiT, and they talked to me for a while. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
well, I love this term of getting nexted, though.
Yeah.
So it is true. I know Chris and his friend were playing around with it, and they just kept getting nexted all the time. I mean, no one was staying and chatting with them at all. So I haven't tried it out. It's funny. I recommended to some people who were going to test it out that they should maybe wear a disguise if they were going to try it out.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. I mean,
well, if you don't want to show up in a screenshot somewhere, because there's been all these crazy screenshots all over the web. So if they want to remain more private, I think.
Help me with this, because my memory is that this is not the first time somebody's done something like this. Is that right? I mean, I don't think this is brand new, but for some reason, this has completely captured the imaginations of everybody. Even normal, non-net people ask me about this all the time.
Yeah, a lot of people have asked me as well. I don't remember anything specifically like this. I mean, I'm sure there has been over time, but maybe the timing is just right. I mean, a lot more people have web cameras, so it makes this a lot easier to use, faster internet connections, which makes the video reasonable to watch.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, a ton of people have talked to me about it.
Everybody has cameras now, so it's not such a big deal. Yeah.
And you're right. I think a lot of people are surprised and they think, oh my gosh, that site sounds insane. And, but, the reality is we can do all of these things now. We just can't do them on a random basis.
Or quite as quickly.
Yeah, quite as quickly. And that's part of it as well. So it's more, I mean, it's kind of a humorous site, but, the problem is at the end of the day is that you will run into a lot of perverts. I mean.
Yeah. It really isn't for kids. I would say that's the case. But that's who's using it. Let's face it.
Yeah.
It's teenagers. In fact, when you do it, you just see all these teenagers. You often in groups looking at it.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, here's the thing: is that, and they're using it, and they're going to see a lot of people doing kind of gross things on it. Let's be honest, but they can find that stuff anywhere on the internet as well. So
right.
This makes it easier, I think, and more. It's the surprise factor in Chatroulette. That's I think why people are getting kind of hooked on it.
Everybody's talking about it. It's like, I mean, it's amazing. Hey, I want to talk just a bit about Dane, who's doing something I think quite clever, and it's working. But before we go there, let me go here to audible.com/night. Audible's that great place where you can get audiobooks at an amazing selection, 70,000 plus books, and you can get your first one free. If you've never done audiobooks, you might say, well, and I think reasonably, I'd like to try it before I buy it. Well, it's simple. Go to audible.com/night, NIGHT, and you could try Audible. You could see what's out there. You could listen to a book, and there's so many great books, so many great things to choose from. History, science, technology, comedy, sci-fi, a lot of great sci-fi on there. It's just and politics, too. Mitt Romney's new book, No Apology, The Case for American Greatness, is on there. And Sarah Palin's book is on here, read by Sarah Palin.
I just bought a new book by Michael Pollan. He does all of the Omnivore's Dilemma.
I love him.
When I was in the airport yesterday, I just bought his book, Food Rules, and I think he's on Audible as well.
He is. In fact, he's his In Defense of Food, The Botany of Desire, and The Omnivore's Dilemma, which is on my next read list, are all on there. Narrated by Scott Brick, who's one of Audible's best readers. Let's make this our pick of the week. I think that's a good idea. We'll do the one that really put Michael Pollan on the map, The Omnivore's Dilemma, A Natural History of 4 Meals. If you're interested in food, where we get it, where it comes from, how it's modified, whether it's healthy, Michael has a brilliant and eye-opening exploration of eating in America. It's called The Omnivore's Dilemma. It's yours free, or any of the other 70,000 titles. Just go to audible.com/night and give it a try. I think you're going to love it. audible.com/night. Plays on your iPhone, your iPod, your Zune, your Kindle, many other devices. We thank them so much for their support of the Net at Night show.
I love his sort of catchphrase in some of his recent books where he talks about eat food, not too much, mostly plants.
Right.
He says that over and over
That's
again.
the diet. If you did that, you'd be healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of food and health, you got to tell them what Dane's doing.
I know. Leo Scale has some competition out there. I still love the idea of diet by humiliation. This is kind of interesting. Dane had emailed me and talked to me about Dane's Fitness on Twitter. So this is an account that he runs. I'm sure you're very familiar with
Dane's
this.
our executive producer here at TWiT, and he told me he was going to do this a while ago, and it kind of blew me away. And he's been doing it for I don't know how many months, 3 or 4 months. He's looking fantastic.
I know. I think he's lost something like 14 pounds. And so he basically posts every single thing that he eats, drinks, except for water, and every time he exercises. And I mean, I thought, okay, sure, Dane, you might post a couple times a day. And then I went to
here's the gum he chews today. Here's an apple. Here's the cottage cheese in a TWiT mug, I might add. So everything he eats, he takes a picture of. He also has his waist measurement. He's down to 42¼ inches. Good job, Dane. He's got his weight. He didn't have a tweeting scale, so he just takes a picture of it. Isn't that?
Yeah, you're right. He just had some big red gum. I see a picture.
Yeah, big red gum. So I think this is a really interesting way. It's diet by humiliation. But, you know, that's how Weight Watchers works in a lot of group weight loss programs. You go in, you get weighed every week. You tell people how you're doing. And this is like getting group support. People follow him. It's Dane's Fitness if you want to follow it. Twitter.com/DANES Fitness. And, you know, some of these pictures are actually kind of compelling. It's kind of an interesting...
I know. It's strangely interesting.
Isn't it weird? He's showing his...
I know everything that Dane is now eating, every time he eats gum, all of that information.
Yeah.
But it's helping him, so I think obviously something's working.
I'm just curious. Let me see how many people are following him. Of course, now there'll be many, many more because I know you all want to know. Dane has 24 followers. Come on, everybody. Let's all follow Dane. I'm going to follow him. Let's all follow Dane's Fitness.
I just followed him, and it's fascinating stuff. So you might inspire people to stay healthy. I like when every once in a while, all of a sudden, he's had a beer, then he had another beer, and he's taking pictures of them.
They're getting a little blurrier each picture. Yeah. Well, now with a camera phone, you know, I did this for a while with Evernote, but I think doing it is one thing to do it, and only you can see it. It's a whole different game when you're publishing it publicly. And that's why I do the scale, the Wi-Fi scale. Every time I eat something that I shouldn't be eating, I think, I got to weigh myself tomorrow and they're going to see. I don't know.
And now when you go to the TWiT cottage to watch any of the shows, you know what Dane likes to eat, so you can bring him his favorite food as a snack.
Big red gum, apparently. Quite a bit of it.
I know. Interesting.
Let's get our guest on the line here. What do you say?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Ryan Holmes is the CEO and founder of something called Hootsuite. Tell us what Hootsuite is.
All right. So Hootsuite is basically like a web interface. There's also different applications for the iPhone and most recently for the Android phone.
Yay!
I know. That's pretty exciting. Where you can manage all of your Twitter traffic and post to other sites like Facebook. And so it's kind of like a tool really for professional people who are using social media and want to be able to track it in a smart way.
It's more than just another client. You know, I just was showing a Dane site. I was showing it in Brisley, which I happen to like. But this has all of those features and you know, quite a bit more. I mean, it's really quite impressive. I'm just
scraping the surface because when I looked at it again today, I realized how much more it does and how much information you can really get. And the stats are phenomenal.
Let's get the CEO on right now, Ryan Holmes. Are you in Vancouver, Ryan?
I'm actually in New York right now, Leo.
But you were originally from Vancouver?
Yeah, I'm from Vancouver. I'm just here for the week.
Cool.
I just happened to be in town and missed the hockey game, but I caught it in New York, which was exciting.
Oh, that's too bad.
Hey, Ryan.
Hi, Amber.
So I've been using Hootsuite for quite some time. In fact, let me show you my Hootsuite page. And it looks like a busy page, but there's a lot going on. So I've added all my social networks. I've got my Twitter account, Ozzy's Twitter account, the two Twitter accounts. I've got my official Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, my fan page. It's really nice to be able to support fan pages. I've also got my LinkedIn account on here. I've got I don't know what some of these are. Which social networks? You support them all, I guess, huh?
We support a good percentage of them. We recently did WordPress integration. We have a couple of other social networks coming up, MyFace, Foursquare. We have LinkedIn, Twitter. So pretty much, you know, the whole gamut. We're looking at a couple of others. We'll probably incorporate Flickr and also we'll be looking at YouTube coming up pretty shortly.
But more to the point, you also support multiple users. So this is really a business solution.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's we call our solution professional social media dashboard. So, you know, we've incorporated team workflow. We have a lot of small, medium enterprise users. And you know, as we move ahead, we're seeing great adoption with power users, but also enterprise. So we have team workflow. We have so the ability to have editors and admin structure, and that's kind of a piece that really sets us apart from a lot of the other clients.
And you have some pretty big companies using this service as well. I noticed on your homepage, Disney, Fox, National Geographic, Dell, People, MSNBC, Revision 3. I mean, the list kind of goes on.
Laporte.
Yeah, Leo Laporte is on the list.
Oh, I know what that P is. That's Ping. That's Ping FM. So it also can go to my Ping FM, which then can go to.
We also do Ping FM, right?
Yeah.
So how are people? I mean, they're using. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we have some great customers and brands using our solution. A lot of media properties, a lot of retail properties, and some pretty impressive brands. The White House is using us, and we see.
Whoa! You mean the White House account is using Hootsuite when it posts?
Yeah, we see not 100%, but we see a large percentage of their posts come out on Hootsuite.
That's really interesting. Well, it makes sense. Really cool. You can control. Go ahead.
I'm just curious because, Hootsuite was this site. I probably heard about the service last year, but it seems like it's exploded. I mean, with all these big names using it, how did it start? And was it your idea? I know you're the founder of the company.
Well, so Hootsuite came out of our agency called Invoke in Vancouver, and we have been working on a lot of different client projects over the years. I founded Invoke in about 2000. We've kind of run the gamut of different trends through search and now into social media. We have a bunch of different products, including a contesting platform that we do a lot of video contesting with various clients. It's called Meme Labs. And through our work with the contesting, we were doing a lot of social media engagement and helping brands drive traffic to the campaigns. And as we were doing that, we found that there wasn't really a good tool for our team to manage a lot of different accounts. And so that was the inception of Hootsuite, December of 2009. So we're a little over a year old. And it just, the products resonated really well. There's kind of, an emerging class of social media managers, community managers that really need a tool like this. And so it's had a great traction since we've released it.
Tell me about stats. What are the stats used for?
So the stats are really useful. So our URL shortener is called Owly, OW.ly, which ties into our whole OWL theme. And it's the number 3 URL shortener in the market. Because we own the URL shortener, we can deliver a lot of interesting analytics behind what happens with your URL. So we can show you A/B campaigns. You can set up, time of day and see what kind of traffic you're getting at different times of day, and referred geo information. And all this stuff was, pretty new for people in social media. They've had it from traditional analytics, but they were kind of just driving blind on the social media side through Twitter. And so, it's been a really useful tool for a lot of people that way.
Now, you have a free version out on Android now. I'm just downloading it right here. And for $1.99, I can get a full version. What are the differences?
Yeah. So it's actually great timing. We're talking with you today.
Yeah,
we just released this morning. Yeah. So the differences between the two: the free version is ad supported. It has a limit of 3 social media channels or accounts. So you could have your 2 Twitters and a Facebook account or something like that. As well, it doesn't do full analytics. So this is it's a strong client for kind of anybody out in the market that needs a good social media client. But the paid version has kind of the deeper functionality. We also released our free iPhone version today. So we had a paid version out, but the free iPhone version also came out today, and both have had really good response. We're seeing a lot of excitement from our users from it.
Now, you call it the professional Twitter client, but in some ways, do you think that's kind of underselling it? Because it seems to do so much more. Like you said, you can link it up with Facebook and other services. Are you guys going to kind of expand that tagline, if I can call it that?
Yeah, so that's a bit of, I'd say, an artifact branding at this point. We are switching that over to social media dashboard. Because that's definitely where we're heading. We're heading towards being a single place where social media managers or social media enthusiasts, power users can manage all of their world instead of having to jump in and out of these properties all the time.
I think the first thing that excited me when you guys launched was the idea that you could schedule tweets on Twitter. If you're going away, you could plan. And what are some of the most common things that people use it for aside from just shortening URLs? Is there, one feature that's kind of the hottest thing?
Well, I mean, the scheduling is a hot one with a lot of people, the analytics, team workflow. We also do RSS integration, which is really popular with a lot of our publisher properties. So the RSS integration allows you, if you have a blog, or any RSS feed, every time that RSS feed's updated, it can automatically get tweeted out, but also get sent to Facebook, LinkedIn, WordPress, et cetera, all of these properties.
So I could use this to buzz Twitter, because I've not been able to do that very well. So
you could do that. Yeah.
Do you look at something like Buzz when that comes along and say, we got to support that too?
Yeah, that'll be coming out pretty shortly. It's we're seeing all of the big properties incorporating micro updates and micro blogging, and it was inevitable that Google would do it, and
sure.
and we are looking at what are the big ones, the 80-90% that will get you out to 80 or 90% of the market. We probably won't touch on some of the the fringe 10%, but we want to cover the bulge of it.
Now, how do you guys make money at the end of the day? I know you're inserting ads in the service, especially I think on the application side. What is the plan to monetize the site or service?
Yeah, so we're experimenting on mobile. As you mentioned, we have ads in our two free versions, our iPhone and Android free version, and we have the paid versions, which we're experimenting with. I don't think. I think the car app on Android is probably car parking app is probably outselling us at this point, but we'll maybe catch up with them. On the our kind of more long-term goals are to offer increased functionality and definitely put out some pro packages. Looking at what features people want, incorporation of things like Omniture and Urchin Analytics, just to kind of close the loop there. And we're
nice.
Getting quite close to having our product built out to where we want to see it.
Yeah. I have to say, it's nice to have one place that you can do all the posting from. Do you find, though, that sometimes people...
do you guys...
Go ahead. Are you there? Uh-oh, we got a lot of delay with Amber. She doesn't know I'm talking. I'll wait a moment. I think Amber's breaking up there. So let me ask the question: Is there an issue with doing all of this kind of cross posting? Do you worry about that? I mean, I think sometimes there's the thought that you should be posting to each network dedicated.
It's a good point, Leo. I think that people have to choose the right tool for the right job. And, how you post to Twitter is a little bit different than how you post to Facebook. And, so throwing a bunch of hashtags up in Facebook, people get a bit confused.
Right.
It just isn't part of that ecosystem. So, yeah, you have to take it, on a per case basis and really figure out what you want to do, your messaging. But that's also what the tool is good for in terms of some of the analytics that you can get through the URL shortening to really learn what gets clicked on by your users.
Right.
Or followers.
Now, I know you guys can hear me now.
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
That was probably my fault. My whole life just went into slow motion. But I use Bitly a lot, and I have a Hootsuite account. I think I'm going to get back into using it a little bit more often. But for people who are using Bitly or other shorteners and who are getting some basic stats, what's kind of your argument for them to switch on over to Hootsuite if you haven't tackled that answer already with Leo?
Nope.
Sure. It's I guess one of the big pieces is it's very easy to use Hootsuite. It's Owly within Hootsuite. It's all there. It gets you full analytics, and we display it all out. Bitly is a great product, but we just have a bit of a different take on it, and we can expose a little bit more out because we're not confined to somebody else's API, so we can really expose more and more data, and we will be exposing a lot more as we move ahead.
I guess because you're not totally dependent on Twitter, you're not too worried about Alex Payne's tweet last week that said, "Oh, Twitter's going to come out with a great desktop app." That doesn't really impact you, or does it?
Well, we are pretty good pals with a lot of the people at Twitter. They've really helped us out a lot. I think it was probably maybe not a thought out comment, and
he pulled it down, of course.
Saying, but I think I think the genuine, the sentiment at Twitter has been very supportive of the clients as a whole. But maybe we need to set up a little trade union of Twitter clients or something like that.
Every time I recommend Hootsuite to someone, they're always like, "What? Hoot? What?
Hoot what? Hoot what?"
Any story in terms of the name?
Well, it's actually kind of a funny story. We started off with a different name that actually was a little bit close to a different product in the market, and they kind of came to us early on and said, "Hey guys, this is kind of a close name. Would you mind doing something about it?" So we actually just decided, hey, it's not worth it. We didn't have a lot of brand equity built up, and so we crowdsourced it, and we went to our users, and I think at that point we had about 30,000 followers on Twitter, and we said, "Hey guys, what should we call ourselves?" And we had hundreds of and the one caveat was the domain had to be available. So we had hundreds of suggestions, and somebody came up with this name, which was absolutely perfect because we had our OWL already, and we wanted to convey, like a package or a suite of tools. So yeah, we loved it.
Cool. Very cool. So thank you so much for joining us, and especially when you're away on business. And sorry that you missed the Canadian Pride on Sunday.
It was pretty fun being a stranger in a strange land and watching it here. But yeah, I really appreciate being on, guys. Thanks.
Ryan, thank you for a great service. I've been using this for at least a year now. And while I don't use it all the time, I use it when I do need to post across all my networks. The integration with Facebook Pages was the first thing that allowed me to update my Facebook page directly, which was huge for me. And I think if we get to the point, and I think we're rapidly getting to that, where we have a number of people posting to, say, a Twitter account, this is exactly the application I would use. One of the things I love that you do, you put the little caret LL right up in the upper left-hand corner. It automatically says who posted. You kind of set a standard for that.
Right.
And I think that's enough.
Stay tuned on that. We have some really exciting stuff coming up in conjunction with Twitter that we'll be releasing out, and we'll even extend that further.
Very cool.
Awesome.
And I am downloading the Android app even as we speak.
Oh, and I'll be doing it soon too.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
All right.
Great to talk to you. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye. That's Ryan Holmes, the founder and the CEO of Hoot. So I like the owl thing. Hootsuite.
I do. I know. I like owls.
Yeah, I'm a big owl fan.
I'm an owl fan as well, but I definitely notice when I tell people about the service, they kind of look at me. Their eyes are sort of they can't remember it that easily. But I mean, you could get lost in this stuff all day. You could analyze every single message you sent out, and there's just so many amazing stats. And I think as geeks, we really love that stuff.
Right, but it's designed for somebody who's using it for business. I mean, if I were Comcast Cares, for instance, this is the product I'd use. Obviously, the White House, people who are using social media, as a publicity tool. For somebody like you and me, where we just put up, I'm hanging out at the dentist's office. It's not. I don't know if you'd care that much how many people clicked on that link. You know what I'm saying?
No, probably not. No. I mean, I would for you, Leo, but that's a whole other stalking issue.
Hey, we're going to come back with our in just a moment with our video of the night, but I want to talk a little bit about something that's very handy for those of you who are supporting family or friends or in the business of support and IT. It's from the folks at Citrix. You know they do remote access better than anybody in the world, and they've applied their remote access solution to a product designed for support. It's called Go2Assist. The new Go2Assist Express is so well done. I used it with my mom when it came out, and I said, wow, because we'd used it years ago in the screensavers. I said, this is so cool. First of all, this is going to save you all that boring time on the phone with people. You just go into their computer and fix it with their permission, of course. They don't have to have anything installed. So with my mom, I was in an IM session. She said, I can't figure out what's going on with my Intuit, with my Quicken. I said, well, Mom, here, click this link. And so I put in a Go2Assist link. She clicks it. That's all she has to do. It installs a little Java stub. It gives me, she has to give me, it then says, you're going to let Leo into your computer? And she says yes. She can give me permanent access so I can get in unattended. Now, that's really nice. She does not have to be there. Her computer just has to be on and online. It will let me do up to 8 sessions at once. So if you're a pro where you're handling a lot of different people, Go2Assist means you can, start and install on one machine, move to the next, start a scan on that machine, move to the next, and on and on and on. It does give you a list of what's running on the computer, what security software is on there, what operating system exactly is running. You can copy files from your system to another. Great if you've got a patch, just copy it over. I mean, I can go on and on, but here's the easiest thing to do. You try it free for 30 days. If you've got a family support session coming up, or maybe you're in the business and you want to know what the state of the art is in remote support, this is it. It'll make you a support hero. Go to gotoassist.com/night, NIGHT, to try it yourself. Absolutely free for 30 days. Gotoassist.com/night. We thank them for their support of Net at Night. Now, are you ready?
Yes, Leo. So this is a video that's been out for a couple of weeks, but I just stumbled across it today. It was posted on the Huffington Post, among other websites, and it's Beaker's Ballad. And you probably know who Beaker is.
Beaker's
from the
Muppet, right?
Yeah, he's kind of the clumsy Muppet.
Now, come on, you've grown out of Muppettdom. Oh, no, you've got a baby. Now you're back into it, aren't you?
Well, I love the Muppets. Yeah, the Muppets are fantastic. Not for my son, just in general.
Just for you. All right.
For me.
Okay.
So I don't know. We played Bohemian Rhapsody on the show before. That was another Muppet creation on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they're still doing the Muppets even since Jim Henson passed away. The Muppets have not gone away.
I don't think they've gone away, but what I do know is that their YouTube channel is amazing. They have so many fantastic creations on there. So it's the Muppets Studio channel is the name of it on YouTube, and they're always posting great little videos, and they're obviously have their finger on the pulse as far as pop culture. And this one is particularly good. So Beaker's Ballad is a video that they just put out, and it's really kind of poking fun at how critical the YouTube community can be.
It's about time.
Yeah. And you know what? For people who are listening, you need to just look up this video because you need to see what's popping up on the screen beside Beaker to fully understand it. But he's having some fun and singing to a song, and then all of these comments come up that are sort of hateful comments, and then Beaker's trying to hide from them and get away from them, and then there's a terrible thing happens at the end, Leo.
Oh, good. I can't wait. I love it when terrible things happen. But here's a terrible thing that's about to happen. We're going to say goodbye to you, Amber MacArthur. Amber MacArthur is the host of Command N. You go to commandn.tv, and you can watch that great video podcast each and every week with her brother Jeff and Will Pate and a cast of millions. You can also go to ambermac.com. That's her blog. And, of course, watch her in Canada on CP24 with her Web Nation show. And we will see you back here next week. Our new time, if you want to watch us do this live, we do it every Wednesday at 1:30.
Tuesday.
Sorry.
Tuesday.
What am I thinking? What? Tuesday at 1:30 Pacific time. That's 4:30 Eastern time. That's the new time. That's at 21:30, I think, UTC. Live.twit.tv, so you can watch live at that time. I guess that's all to say, except have a great evening, Amber, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Leo.
On Net at Night. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Beaker. Oh dear. Fail. Little fail pops up. I can't believe I wasted 15 seconds on this. Nope. Hate it. My ears, my eyes. Sounds like someone punched a goat. You're doing it wrong. Worst song ever. Disasterpiece. You're annoying my brains. Worst bit on here. Ooh. All the comments are popping up. Catches on fire, and it says, "Is he died?" Now that's funny.
Should we click on this dig button? Absolutely. Let's keep digging till this thing is buried. Oh.